Hello everyone, this is Dassem and this is me reaching out to all the new tankers in the wonderful world of tanks Blitz. I have long considered writing a letter to you, the future of this great game. That's you. With thousands of matches under the belt myself, I'm painfully aware of how unprepared I was back when I started playing. Now that I'm a more experienced player myself, I have often experiences in the battlefield that leave me frustrated by the lack of knowledge in newer players. So I thought I'll write you a little guide, give some pointers to the very newest of players. And here we go. First of all, as a new player, you may have been told to learn a lot of complicated stuff. Hull down, side scrape, flank, snipe, and so on. And while you may know very well what these terms mean, doing them right in Blitz takes experience. Lots of experience. It's not something you learn overnight. So, is there anything you can do to make your gameplay better while you work on improving those skills? And I think there is. And in this video, I will describe a few of the ways you can become better already today. Now, the first thing you need to know is how to work alongside your team. Tanks operate in formations, and Blitz is no different in this aspect. The most important thing is not to stray too far from your team. Make sure that wherever you go with 2 or more teammates. Do not go off on your own. You also have to be sure you don't go too far from the rest of the team. If they run into a team of reds, 7 reds, they rely on you to be able to help them. And you have to be able to get back to them fast enough to be of help. If you're too far away, they'll get killed before you can support. And keeping your teammates alive is just as important as staying alive yourself. The next thing you have to think about is your armor. Sure, you're in an armored vehicle, but do not rely on your armor. Yes, you are driving a vehicle specially designed to stop incoming fire, but your enemies drive vehicles specially designed to break through such armor. The only thing you can rely on to save you from being hit is solid map features. That is, terrain and big buildings. Make sure to put some of this between yourself and any enemy you come across. Leave cover only to shoot and immediately go back. Never go into the open without knowing what your next cover will be. Learning how to make your armor work comes later and varies a lot from tank to tank. If you want to learn more about your armor, you can download the app Armor Inspector. It will tell you everything you ever wanted to know about armor. What you have to know about maps is that all the maps in Blitz have certain areas where it's smart to go and certain where it's suicidal to go. All depending on what tank you drive, what your teammates drive, and what the red team are driving. As long as you don't know what all these areas are and when to go where, you should borrow some knowledge from your teammates. You just go where they go. You do not call out directions unless you are certain they are right. Use the game forum to learn how to deal with different maps. Your own tank. Try learning the strengths and weaknesses of the tanks you play. You play the tanks to their strengths. If you have a lot of armor, you don't sit in the back, but you join your comrades in the front. If you have a fast tank, use your mobility to scout. If all you have is a great gun, be ready to provide support fire. Follow your team at a distance and set up on spots where you can cover them. Do not let them get too far away from you. As I'm sure you're aware of, this game has 10 tiers of tanks. Almost everyone is advancing too fast through the tiers in the beginning. After a few thousand matches, they will all tell you the same. Do not rush the tiers. With every tier you go up, the play becomes more demanding. Significantly more. Tier 10 is the most demanding of all tiers. If you go up too fast, you'll find yourself in matches where the play has a level too high for you to even learn anything. I would advise you to get your win rate in a tier above 50% before advancing to the next. Or, if not at 50%, at least close to it. Then there's the part about battlefield behavior. You have to make sure you're not getting in the way of your teammates. If a teammate is blocking your path, you go around him. You don't push him. Never follow directly behind a teammate. At any moment he may need to slam his tank into reverse and pull back to avoid incoming fire. And if you're blocking him, it could be his death. Take special care not to stay behind a teammate working a corner or a ridge line. I'll end this lecture by saying a little about learning and self-evaluation. The forums are full of guides and people who can answer your questions. In addition, you have a lot of people putting guides on YouTube, as you're probably aware of if you're watching this video. If you search for Bushka on Blitz or just World of Tanks Blitz, you can't miss all of the great contributors. And how do you know if you're playing okay? Well, it's quite easy. Your win rate in each tank should be approaching 50%, or else you're not pulling your own weight. If it's over 50, you're doing more than pulling your own weight, and that's just great. If you want more detailed information about how you do, please visit VOTB Stars or Blitz Stars. They provide a lot of statistics. You can see how much damage you're doing, how well you're doing compared to other people. So, to sum it up, you go with your team, you use hard cover to avoid getting shot, you don't block or push teammates, and you are patient, you don't rush the tiers. If you follow these guidelines, you will be a great asset to your team. A good teammate will be able to use you as a resource, and you will help win the game. You will live longer and be able to learn more and try out more things every match. If you do not follow these guidelines, you may get your teammates who rely on you killed, and you will lose. So, be on the lookout for more guides to follow this one. This was the initial Blitz starter guide. I hope it has been useful, and I hope it will make you a better tanker. So, go out there and have fun and keep on tanking.